It would be nice if I could see everybody's name, like real, and if everybody
You
could see
should
everybody.
be able to.
Okay, yes. I mean, like
Everyone's
actual names. Everybody should be using everybody's actual name. It would be nice. Making sure everyone. Okay, so okay, folks. Welcome. It is 6 p.m. We're probably gonna give folks a few more minutes here.
we have a lot of people to join.
We do. Isn't this exciting? Look, I have to scroll to see everybody. Isn't that exciting? I have to scroll. Hi, Marla. I see Marla. Good. My God. So I'm just gonna talk while people are coming in here. I do a lot of things around town musically, and everybody has had to shift to this medium. I'm sure some of you are more familiar with this. I'm sure some of you are watching from the sidelines. I reacted by stepping back and watching all the other organizations go first and watching everybody fumble forward, make great recordings, make not so great recordings. I just kind of watched. I also tried to I had to like reevaluate. And I wasn't sure if we were even going to really go on. I wasn't sure how to go on. And then I don't know. I get a call from Julia. It's not if we're gonna go on. It's here's how we're gonna go on. And that's just kind of really what started it. So just everybody has a timeline. As people are trickling in here, first of all, I should say thank you to everybody that participated by being gutsy and submitting a track for us for the Bernstein concert in lieu of the live concert we were supposed to do. Smashing success, huge success. Look at all these people! Wonderful. Let's see. Yeah, I can't see. I like seeing people's names versus chat. So if I'm not paying attention to the chat, sorry. Just
I have the chat open.
Okay, so oh my gosh. Yes, this is good. This is working. Okay, so we were supposed to do a live concert. It was supposed to be April 19th. Everything happened. We had decided to move forward by doing the Bernstein concert online. We didn't know how we were going to do it. And we just knew we were going to do something, and parodies were flowing out of Julia and I. Lyrics were coming to us. We were just creating and all this stuff, and we didn't know really what to do with it. And then the city came forward and said, "Are you doing a concert still?" And we said, "Yes." And they said, "Are you doing anything online?" And I said, "Yes," just to keep us together. Hello, Bob Screen. And then, and then we got so the reason why we got the grant in the first place is because they wanted to take care of the venue cost for us, which was close to $6,000. And so they agreed to do that, and then everything happened, and then they gave us the money anyway, even though we weren't paying for the venue. So we restructured how we were using the money, and we funneled it toward the beautiful product that you see in front of you. In exchange for 3 online releases, they gave us the money that we originally went for. So those of you that have been around for a while, you're probably witnessing some really fast change. Like we were experiencing a change of rehearsal venue before this all went down. We were in talks about moving into the Madrid for the first time, et cetera, et cetera. So for those of you first joining us, welcome. I should probably say that. I'll just go ahead and begin. My name is Charlie Kim. Thank you so much for being here. It's so nice to see all these familiar faces. It's so nice to see all these new faces. I really just want to take a moment to say thank you for, again, being gutsy in this way. This is unprecedented. We're watching all the choirs around us do the same thing. And so Julie and I were just kind of like, well, there's not really much stopping us from giving this a shot. We have everything we need. So we are doing this. The fall concert, I have a list here. Let me pull up what I'm going to talk about very briefly. I only have an hour, and I want to talk about how this is going to go, what you need to know, and then we will have a rhythm like we did before, or as much as we can approximate one. Let's see. Okay, rehearsal announcements. I will go ahead and begin by announcing the season. You guys all have this in writing. I'll be very quick about it. The first concert we have coming is called Voices Rising. We were originally supposed to be in an iconic church in the valley, which we try to do all the time is feature, valley things. It's a church in the round style. It's a Unitarian Universalist church on Sepulveda. It's called the Onion. The walls are windows. It's very rich acoustically. We programmed, an hour's worth of music like we normally do around a certain concept. That being that you must experience sound live in on your skin, and you need to sing around each other. And then all of a sudden that got taken away from everybody. And then I was challenged with figuring out how we could continue to mount this concert. We, of course, narrowed it down. But we're treating most of these online performances as trailers, teasers. We are embracing the fact that you cannot replace any live performance with any kind of virtual anything, which has been a topic of controversy in the choral world. We're just going to go ahead and just say we cannot. But what we can produce is small bits that we will reprise later in full concerts live, and just stress the fact that we will do this and you can feel this in person, and we will push and quote unquote sell the fact that you must come to the live concert to experience the real thing. Voices Rising will be the pieces you see. It will also be archival performances from previous concerts. Those are chosen already, intermingled with content like PBS style interviews, dramatic readings of poetry, interviews with me, Julie hosting the whole thing live, introducing the tracks one at a time. We push everybody to watch the live event. We put the donate button front and center. We don't charge ticket fees, and we keep the content up, but we don't tell anybody that we're doing that. And we continue to recruit online. And that's how we're going to move forward until we get the green light. And we have plan B pretty much up until we're ready to go. So after Voices Rising, very briefly, just so everybody's on the same page, the idea was and still is to alternate between a holiday sing-along for the Valley, the holiday sing-along for the Valley, which is a collaboration with SFVYC, the Youth Children's Chorus, and it'll be a community fixture eventually, and it kind of already is. And then we will alternate with Messiah. Without saying too much, it's called Messiah 101, and we will treat it very loosely, and we'll call it Messiah for Dummies, or like Crash Course Messiah. In our style, like we always do. And then people can go and enjoy traditional messiahs, and get more out of it because they came to ours first. So start looking at it now, please. If you are familiar with it, please start seeing those melismas now. They don't just come out. And then in the spring, we do have slated a concept called Americana. We don't know. I mean, I'm going to come up with a better name, especially in light of what the political climate and social climate is these days. I have to be very choosy, I guess is the word. But more information on that. As far as this process, just very briefly, we meet for an hour on Mondays. We discuss markings, we discuss breaths, blah, blah, blah. We discuss video recording techniques. I'll probably walk you through some spoken rhythms. I'll conduct you. We all sing from home. I talk about vocal pedagogy. I basically give everybody a Skype voice lesson every week. And then this is key, folks. This is key. I need you to start being able to play the video conducting track on your screen with the sound playing out loud somehow in the room, preferably not from the same source as a video, maybe a speaker of some kind, so you can sing over it. The less you're interfering with that process, the thing capturing you and then the thing creating the sound, the better. I ask for this because I'm going to eventually, when everybody's comfortable, ask people to demonstrate their part over a track for us all, and we'll have a mini masterclass, please sing measures, blah, 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 through blah, blah, blah. Not going to do that for a couple of weeks, but please be prepared to do this. As we continue on, everybody should know the section leaders are Julie, Ruth, I should say full names. Julie Barnett, you'll know who she is. Soprano section leader. Alto section leaders Ruth Markinson. If I can't see if it's her or not. If you are here and your screen is visible, please wave. Ruth, hi Ruth. Ruth's alto section leader. Tenor is Angel. Angel, please wave. Tony. All right. Okay. And bass Steve. Okay. So these folks, for example, we learned that me providing a piano track guide for you to sing to nicht so gut. We need a vocal timbre for you to sing along and cut off with, along with a conducting track, etc. And so through the several attempts I've made through doing this and trial and error, we have learned that the better the rehearsal track is, the cleaner your tracks come out. So we are putting tons of effort into making sure there's rehearsal tracks. You can just press play and just do it, because that's the rehearsal. This is not the rehearsal. And we have just admitted that, you know, so we're trying to make it as easy for you as possible. I will take this moment to say the magnificence that was the 3 tracks that just came out for the Bernstein concert were definitely not the tracks that were submitted. Okay, now, pretty damn good, folks. Okay, I will say I was floored watching these, and at first I was biting my nails like, oh my god, and then I was just laughing because you guys just gave me your all, and the B reels, ladies were just hilarious and so funny, and I really did enjoy watching them. I miss you folks. It's funny, and this is like the second best we can do. However, you have to understand that I very carefully crafted that concept to let us get away with a lot. Right? So cutoffs did not need to be together. I said, women, please go crazy, please go nuts. I didn't ask for any formatting. You'll notice I didn't send anything back, right? Because the idea was to just get people to participate, and look at the turnout, wonderful. Okay, so we are continuing for it. And now I can come down on you, because we were going for a certain look before, which was right in line with our brand. It worked. And of course, Julie dresses it up, and our audio and visual engineer, which you all should meet at some kind of cast party at some point. He is the magic. He's the one that can, like, without a click track, first of all, y'all should know, he just used my piano, my conducting, your tracks, and just sat there and surgically lined everything up so that if someone was too late or too early, started too early, he would just cut out the microscopic amount that he needed to get everybody's individual part to be the exact same length it needed to be, so that you could get away with it. Okay, and we're talking, I don't know how many submissions, how many pieces. Okay, so this man does a lot. Now we can make his job easier. So it is imperative that you do not send the first take. We are going to record audio and video. Well, I'll let Julie talk about more about how we're going to take the takes later. We're going to set time aside for that, and we have very slowly built in time for everybody to ask questions, everybody to ask about their device. How do I do this? How do I do that? Last time, Julie did a beautiful tutorial, and it wasn't, you know, as effective as we would have liked. So from gleaning things from, again, several organizations that have been tempted to do this. See, I've learned to keep water by my desk. We have created a PDF that's short and concise, and we just ask that, you know, you give it your all and you be as OCD as possible, and we will try as hard as we can to not send it back. But you should all be aware that there is the possibility of us sending it back and saying you must re-record this, which was not part of the game the first round. So we have built this into the rehearsal. Julie, I don't think everybody has access to the rehearsal, but Julie's really good about communicating. Again, imperative that you watch your emails.
Everybody will have access to the rehearsal through the YouTube website. So after every rehearsal, right now I'm recording, just FYI, so you guys are all on candid camera, but I'm pinned on Charlie, so mostly Charlie's on candid camera. Still, keep that in mind. So after every rehearsal, meaning every meeting on Mondays, I will upload it onto YouTube, so you can access it on the SFVMC website under the virtual chorus.
And the schedule is every Monday at 6, an hour. What I mean by schedule is which pieces are coming and which rehearsal track are coming. You have to realize in order for a rehearsal track to appear in front of you, it starts with me, it goes to Julie, it goes back to me, it goes to Julie, it goes to the section leaders, it goes back to me, it goes to Julie, it goes to you. So you will notice on the schedule that I'm not asking for your first submission until July, two rehearsals from now.
July 20th.
July 20th. You will get very soon here the first 2 pieces, and then I'm just going to ask for a submission, and it's not your take, okay? I'm just building into the rehearsal. 1, everybody getting used to submitting because that's always an issue. Always an issue. 2, you need to get used to recording. 3, again, you don't want to be taking your first take. We want to be taking the 10th take. You know what I mean? So that's the way we structured this. We spend an hour together at the beginning of the week to address any questions. We constantly take takes. I constantly review them. I constantly send them back. And then we have a final deadline of all your tracks way in September somewhere, and then the concert's way in October. And you will notice, again, folks that have been around, we are doing way better than we've ever done. And the idea is to have have a season out so that we can, just for the folks that are interested in the background, we are trying to approach other arts organizations in the Valley so that we can be like, we need to put our seasons together so that we can put a brochure together so that we can approach the community together and say, we are the San Fernando Valley Arts Coalition, the symphony, the band, the orchestra. Here's our program for the next year, blah, blah, blah. We just need to identify. But that requires us to all know our season a year ahead, which is really hard. So kudos to every organization that can do that. That's where we're trying to get. Okay, 15 minutes down. Really quickly, I'll do this next time. We have committee heads. I'll introduce them next week. I've talked about the calendar. I've talked about the general rehearsal process. I've talked about the concert concept, and I've announced the season. General plan. Okay. Let's warm up. So I learned. Now, typically, all right, this is what I was waiting for. Sorry, neighbors, I don't care anymore. It's hot. Okay. I am going to make a 5-minute YouTube clip of like a guided vocalese. Okay, I think we will all just this would serve us all pretty well, because I've always let people warm up on their own, and I say, please come to rehearsal warm, and I can teach through rehearsal. I save time by teaching a little bit of vocalism through the music learning and the performing. Those of you that have sung with me before know this, right? Those of you that don't, oh boy, just wait to the first rehearsal. The first thing I noticed from people submitting tracks, people don't sing the way they do in rehearsal. And it begged so many questions, which I'm sure all of you have seen in your spheres. What does it really mean to sing in a choir together? Do we get something out of singing together more than us singing individually? Is our sound truly greater than the sum of our individual parts? The answer is a resounding hell yes. Whoa. Because when I made everybody sing individually, no. And I know that's not how you all sing. It was phenomenal. It was fascinating, and I learned so much. It really microscopically narrowed down what is necessary to make music in an ensemble fashion. What actual parts can we do without? You know what I mean? The board meetings, we could definitely do online. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to carry certain things forward. However, I'm learning to adapt certain things to the recording session. So do I need to warm you up? Yes. Okay. Because the level of energy in the recordings, not enough. You must sing like you are in the sanctuary that we were in at the very least. If you can put yourself in that room, and I only bring up that room because you can tangibly feel those air molecules. You know how hot it was in that room. You know how hard it was to breathe in that room. You know how hard it was to wear black and breathe in that room. You know how many times I told you to tap your sternum and breathe. You have memories in that room. So to those of you that have sung in that room, I'm gonna say, I need you to hold your rib cage in your living room in front of your camera the way you did on that stage. And that is tough because we are grown and imagination runs scarce these days. But that's what I need from you, is to put yourself in the space without me there with you. And that is hard, you know, because you can get away with a lot when you're at home. And I let it happen because I could make up for it at the rehearsal, but I cannot. So now, truly, the challenge for conductors is inspire people to do it at home. Can you really do it? You know, that's the real test here. Can the conductor really get the sound out? So I am just telling you, you must do all the things, you know, that we kind of even joke about a little bit in choir, you know, the posture and all these things. So I'm going to warm you up. I'm going to make a warm up video. Until then, I'm going to warm you up. And then I'll just take you through a little bit of the music, and then I'll save a little bit of time for questions. And then when time's up at 7, time's up at 7, and I'm going to take questions through email at that point because we're trying to be really efficient. Also, board meetings have gotten really short. Okay, so we figured out, like, you know, how to do this in a concise way. Okay, so here we are, 6:20. Good, plenty of time. Let's warm. Okay, so everybody, at least if you're gonna sit, you know, I know room is a constraint. If you're gonna sit, I'll talk about sitting, but I'll do it standing. I gotta be really brief with this. It's funny how much I need to be able to see my own screen. In fact, I think I'm just gonna look at my own screen. If there is a question, maybe Julie, you can alert me through the sound because I can't look at everybody's screen, but I need to be able to see what I'm doing.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, folks. So 4 parts of the voice. 1, the motor. 2, the reed, where the vocal cords actually live. Air passes through these 2 tiny vocal cord sheets of muscle that are no bigger than a dime, and it's the same as blowing over a piece of plastic. You know, when you blow over grass or something. I think it's called the Bernoulli effect. So, or the Dopp. Yeah, no, it's the Bernoulli effect. It's the same thing that planes used to take off on the wing. Air, reed, vibration, but very small vibration. The sound travels through and into the face. The face is open space. There's nothing in there. So it's an echo chamber. That's why when you're sick, you can't really talk because you can't resonate. And then we have these special things, the lips, the articulators, which gives us the ability to form text, which separates our instrument from everybody else. But every other instrument has the same thing. The piano bell, you know, or well, the hammer, really, where the power comes from, that's the piano, right? And then the sound, the string, the hammer on the string vibrates, and then the sound echoes in the body. You know, the clarinet power comes from the motor here, and then, you know, the reed is here, and then the bell is here. You see what I'm saying? Every instrument's the same. So when you're warming up, folks, me, and all these stereotypical things about warming up, there's a lot of language out there, folks, about singing, support, apoyo, all these things. I'm going to try my best to give us a universal language, okay? And I will also try and decipher some myths. Those of you that study with me privately know what I'm talking about. So the motor, okay, when you're warming up the voice, you're not really warming this up at all. The thing that you're warming up is this, okay, because this is the thing that's the most tired and that requires the most energy. So just feel here now, blow out on a nest for me. Here we go. And I'm not looking at you, but I know I hear some of you going like this. Okay, so you're going to have to, at the very least, give me the S that I am giving you. So here we go. Okay, so you will feel action here. This is the motor. Okay, so now give me I'll do 4, you do 4. Here we go. My turn. I'm changing the sound. Cha. Okay. Okay, this is, you will notice how do I unpin? You will notice this needs to go, okay? So I'm moving briefly on. Here we go. So let's see. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Breathe. for the warm up if you don't want to. I know it's very personal. How short are your notes? Yeah. Do you feel this? Yeah. Think opera singer, very short notes. Does the last note vibrate? Yeah. What's happening here? Yeah. Woo! Give me one of these. Woo! Give me one of these. Ha! Woo! Ha! Okay, so the trick is to like bring this part up and bring this part down. And you want to unify the two and hide the fact that there are two, which is difficult. Okay. Let's see. How about a big stretchy one? Let's see. Zia, Zia. Okay, and then the arpeggio is Zia. Go. The most important part is breathing. Most important part is breathing. Are you breathing? Breathe, breathe. You want to be long, long. Okay. A tip for you all, when you do something strenuous like sing high, a good trick to just bring your lower larynx back down is just to hum in the very low head voice. You just go, and then just like tilts the larynx back into position. Okay, folks. Let's begin on some of the music. I mean, again, a very brief warm up. You know, you do your own thing, but point being, I'm going to use the time to instruct the singing because you cannot go from sitting on the couch to recording. Okay. Also, another trick, just to get the breath going, the dog pant is very good. Just to walk you through it, you just double each time until you can dog pant as fast as you can. So you're going to go double. Sorry. Double. And then as fast as you can. And you will feel this just go whoosh, whoosh out if you really try to like dog pant as fast as you can. Okay, so it's just a quick thing that you can do to wake up the support system. Okay, so then there are all these things you can do to warm up the rest of the body, just to alert people with what I'm talking about when I say resonance. For example, everybody do this. Real gross, like down here for the lower voices. Okay, so this is resonance. If you can go and keep this buzz when you open your mouth, that's the idea. Okay, so everybody go. Let's go. Go. And really feel the nose. Okay, so those are things you can do to warm up the face. And then there are all the mommy made me mash my M&Ms and the proper cup of coffee and a proper coffee cup, all those things for the articulators. Okay, but that's the idea, is that when you warm up the motor, you do a little bit of moving the voice, 5 notes, 8 notes, you know, and then you do a little bit of resonance, and then you do a little bit of lips. Okay, very brief. Okay, but systematic, you know, it's just like, you know, stretching the body. Or doing bar. Has anybody done bar? Ballet bar, literally one muscle at a time, one side at a time, every angle at a time, one at a time in French. Okay, folks, let's go to the Whitaker. I'm looking at, what am I looking at? I thank you, God save it. What is it? I Will Wait Out. So I chose repertoire that would be friendly to situations like not syncing, and or choral masterworks, because we are a master chorale and we do like to sing complete works when we can. Again, this was about resonance. It was more about the sound and the chords and things than it was anything else. So this is mostly about the harmony, but poor us, we don't get to enjoy any of the harmony until the very end. But it's going to be really good because we're all going to get to work on our lines individually. So I will wait out the first of three. E. Cummings, love, love. I would encourage you to just look up the poetry just as a poem and just read it because it's really gorgeous. And then to see what Eric Whitacre did with the text is something all its own. So like I was saying, if you just observe, I don't know if anybody's listened, to full performances of this, but you will notice right away that there is a delay on the same melody, a beat apart. So that first came to mind like, oh, well, that's pretty friendly to virtual choir. That's fine, that'll be pretty easy to fudge if we really needed to. And that kind of really inspired most of the choices, was really just things that would not need to be tick, 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 like Palestrina. You know what I mean? If you do Palestrina poorly, don't post it. You see what I'm saying? So this is friendly stuff. So now, I'm going to say, I want everybody to just turn to beginning, and I'm going to speak through the part in rhythm. And if you could just speak through your part with me while you are muted. And I will probably jump between lines. I will try to stick as close to the melody or like the figures that jump out to me as much as possible. I will count beats so that, when you're not singing, you can count along with me. And I also encourage you to count along with me. People, it's what singers do, man. We drop beats. Okay. So fill in the beats. Here is I Will Wait Out. I think I might even play a little bit. I mean, I'll try. But okay, so I'm looking at the time. Good. Let's take the first phrase just down to the bottom, okay? We're just going to take the first phrase. I'm going to play along, but I really want everybody to just speak along. And then I'm going to ask somebody to demonstrate. Okay, so here we go. So, here we go. 3, 4, 1. I will wait out till my thighs are steeped in burning flowers. Okay? New folks that have this first time in choir, if you don't know what a shadow vowel is, welcome to the world that is the shadow vowel. We must have them. We must have them all the time, and they are shameless, and they are their own syllable. Flowers. This is particularly important in the recording. Get used to it. Okay. Here we go. One more time. Here we go. Let's see. Maybe alto. I'll play alto, but everybody's speaking their own part. I'll go on. 3, 4, 1. I will wait out till my thighs are steeped in burning flowers. Stretch. I will take the sun in my mouth, and leap to the right air, everyone. Alive with closed eyes to dash against one, two. Jump. Good. How was that? Questions? Difficulties?
Charlie.
Yes.
Jay,
yes.
on the second page, are you going to want a shadow file on the word alive?
In measure 9?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
You will see in the rehearsal conducting video. So that's part 2. Well, everybody cuts off together on that one. I try and give you a nice clear V. Alive with. Okay.
Okay.
Great question. I'm going to talk about a couple things. Okay. I'm going to point out right away at the top of 4 altos. Notice that on the downbeat, what syllable do you say versus what the sopranos say? Okay, likewise, okay, sopranos, notice that you say a different word than the altos. Don't be tripped up. Notice that there is a real hesitation between beat 4 where the men enter at the top of 4, that last measure, to the right, air, men, women, chum. Okay, so just know that that cue is for the lower voices. Okay, then big marking in measure 9, which I know no one is gonna go far enough. Okay, so what I'm gonna sing, if you listen to it, you'll understand the figure. Okay, but the chord is, it goes, let's see, and it relaxes. Okay, it's so good, but it doesn't quite even relax because there's this in it. Okay, so, and the word, of course, is alive. So everybody say it with me. Alive. Sorry, I gotta cue it again. Okay. You have to put all of your existence in your eyes in one beat. Your entire life has to flash in your eyes in that one beat. So if I can even come close to demonstrating. Alive. Okay. I think I said something to one of my youngsters, 16-year-old, who thought she knew, well, she thought she knew everything. And I was like, welcome to school. And I said, one of the things I told her, because she was bored with an aria that we were working. And I said, I was trying to get her to understand this is so much deeper than just learning the notes. You know what I mean? The real artist cares about how each note is delivered, each syllable, each drop, each breath, each silence. Okay. So the thing about recording is, if you don't have a choice for every note and you don't rehearse it that way, it comes out recorded that way. You see what I'm saying? So I encourage you now, when we're rehearsing, alive. You see? Okay. Otherwise, you won't record like that. Okay. So here we go. When you're speaking, even, okay, that I really need those swells. That is what makes the piece. That is what, if that's not there, no one will listen. Okay, so you must exaggerate. It starts from nothing, and then it goes to forte, and then it has to come back. And you must exaggerate. Don't let your shape look like this. Alive. It's got to look like, you see, you must really, really exaggerate. Okay, even in the practice. And then the next one, alive. And then the next one, you might write in your music more. With closed eyes. And then you'll notice that decrescendo is not only a decrescendo, but it is an off gesture. It's like a yin yang. You know what I mean? If the first one was yin, the off of the slur must be yang. Closed eyes. Nothing. Don't even sing. People in the choir that's been in the choir, what do I say sometimes? Don't even sing the second note. Don't even sing the second note. And then it's the right phrasing, right? Right? Okay. If I could make everyone demonstrate right now, I would. Okay, so then we move on to the next measure, to dash against. Okay, I just need everybody to practice doing this. Okay, dash against the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Can I have the upper voices do this for me? Here we go. We're gonna go one. First, we're just gonna count the quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're gonna split those 4 same beats into 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the homework. Okay, that's the homework. If you are not familiar with that rhythm, that is the bottom of page 4 up to the top of page 5. And Whitaker does this amazing thing where he makes all the women go between 4 and 6, but it has to be accurate. So you have to practice just using numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you go to text. To dash against the darkness. Good. Okay. Really appreciate your patience, folks. I mean, this is definitely like a keep the cats together kind of situation. Some of us move faster than others. I'm trying to not leave folks behind, so I appreciate everybody's patience. And it's not like we don't all need this anyway. Fundamentals, all about fundamentals. Okay, I think we can take one more pass at Noel. In fact, can we now la, folks? 6:40. I'll spend a little bit more time on this, and then we gotta move on. What I'm really hammering home here is the process. Okay, you see how much time I spent on just speaking the text. I only did one phrase. You have to do a little bit each day. You see what I'm saying? Before, and then you're ready to take some takes, right? Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna play along now. Can everybody just their vocal part without the text? And then we'll go to the end on and then I will ask everybody to attempt to sing on text. But just know that this process was very, very, very fast. Okay, so here is the beginning. Are you long in the front? Are you breathing? Here we go. Where's the diction? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Who waits out? 1. And till my thighs are steeped in burning flowers, I will take this and leap into the ripe air of life with closed eyes. Two, retard, give me the yes-ness. Oh yeah, we're da-da-dying. Sorry, here's da-da-da. I'm gonna keep going with alto 1. Here's the 6 bar. 1. Will I complete the mystery of my flesh, of my flesh? And here's the chord. And the soprano just give it the SH on 1. Sha. I will rise after 1,000 years. 1, 2, za. Living 3. Was 4, 1. That's very recitative. It's very free. Na. Of the na. Of the I would write my music right there. The tallest ooh shape you could possibly make in your mouth. It's always darker than you think it is. Just so everybody knows, we need a long enough B flat, that last note, for us to cut away and then attach to the B flat of the next piece. It's going to go ataka, but we need the sound to be blended so that it sounds attacca. So make sure you give us a long enough straight to, B flat. Okay, make sure you're taking your takes that way. I think we should move on. You will
Charlie,
yes.
I have one question for everybody.
Question.
Are we doing straight tone or the Whitaker?
Okay, this is always a hard question. I will generally say yes. When you need to vibrate, when notes are too long, typically they're in forte sections. Yes, go ahead and vibrate. Climactic sections can vibrate, but most of the time you want to stay, like for example, let's say, like leap and leap into the right bed. Might have a tiny bit, but Julie, that's a good question, because for those of you that are not familiar with Eric Whitacre style, yes, it is a little more straight tone versus being like Verdi. So I should probably say that very clearly for folks. The style of this is a little, placid.
So shimmer on the sustained a little.
Shimmer, yes. Okay, folks. So that was just me walking you through it, but the real work is you listening to the track. Okay, because you basically have to get used to, and I'm talking to my pros, it's not metronomic. I thought about a click track, but I'll go ahead and divulge that LA Master Chorale did a click track and I hated it. It was totally lifeless, and it really limited the repertoire, and in order to do something like this, it really needs to breathe. So there's a lot of like eighth cutoffs and things like that I could use help on as far as precision. You know what I mean? So I try to be as clear as possible, and just put all the markings in the gesture, if that makes any sense. So that's where I need my folks that are really, experienced choral artists. The more exact you can be without having to ask me, necessarily, do you want me off on the end of things? Let's just say with the ink, and then if it's really bad, I'll make a clarification.
I just want to tune in that this song will be up on the web on YouTube by tomorrow. I'm working on it for the rest of the day, but Charlie has sent me the recordings I need. I've just been working on Kanaval all day, which is next, but Kanaval is up and ready.
We are literally like running at the heels of this, but we set our own deadline, and so we're chasing our own deadline, so it feels good because we're ready.
Yeah, so Carnival's ready. This one may be ready by the end of the day, but definitely by tomorrow you will have the first Eric Whitacre.
And then more, and then they'll come out in twos. Okay, Carnival, folks. So what I've included in the practice materials is one reading of the text, just as text, just spoken, just conversationally. The language is Haitian. If you were in the last concert, the music between us, the world music concert, it was the Haitian piece. Same composer, Sidney Guillaume. He's a Valley guy. He used to ring baritone at the same church that I used to ring tenor at over there, St. Cyril's at 405 and the 101. So he's very much a product of this area. He's gone on to international publication fame. His music is now pretty much standard at all the high schools in the country. This piece, Kanaval, was featured at LA Master Chorale's High School Choral Festival last year, and I soloed, and I was like, I am so bringing this to my choir. And then we needed an up piece that sounded like Voices Rising, and this seemed perfect. So here it is. The language is Haitian. It's rooted in French. If you have any French training, please use it. You're probably right. I will generally say there are no graves or aigus accents, but it is a closed E, leve, leve. Not leve, leve, epsilon, Greek epsilon, you want a real closed E, leve. Leve, leve les joues. I'm not going to walk you through the text. I'll let you listen to the track, and you can, listen to it while you're in the shower, washing dishes, whatever. If there are questions on it, clarifications, I will take questions next week. I included the translation, just the text and then the English. Take a look at it. It's what we're really doing is painting the oral picture of a party, carnival, and it's really festive, and it has a certain feeling. So basically, there are pieces in two parts. There's a slower, more chill kind of rhythmic thing. Oh, everybody should know that this has a big percussion section in it, which you will get the track later that you can you'll get it before you record your tracks if you want to hear the percussion while you're singing, which in fact, I think I want you to hear the percussion while you're singing. Just know that there's like tons of instruments behind you, and this thing really jams. If you haven't watched it, watch the Florida State University choir sing it. They really rock on it, and it's really a fun piece. The tenors open. Like I said, the first half is about sunrise and waking up and going, yay, it's Kanaval. And then the double bar happens, and it's really fast to the end, and it just sounds like a parade. I think there is actually like a whistle. So if anybody has a whistle, can you let Julie know? Thank you very much. Julie has a whistle. We are going to need that effect. So it's in the music. Anyway, I also made a click track with a clave. Does this hurt anybody's ear? Is this okay? Okay, so I'm gonna do this along while I'm speaking because this is awesome. This is what you will be using when you are listening to the conducting track. It's going to be me conducting, me speaking the text. Oh no, not me speaking the text. Your section leader singing with this under it, okay? And I feel like this is necessary for this piece because it's so grid-like, it's so rhythmic, but that will also work in our favor because once you hit play, you just kind of go. You know what I mean? There's not all these nuances like in the Whitaker. So there are only really a few figures to learn, and then the piece just kind of sings itself. It looks intimidating on paper. It really isn't. And it's by rote. Okay, so I will encourage you to just listen to your tracks because you really can learn this one by ear. I'll just go ahead and take the tenors from the beginning. The opening phrase is, here we go. Speaking from the beginning. 1, 2, tenors, go. Tum-ga-dum, tuga-dum, tim-pow. Tugadum, tugadum, tim pow. Tungadum, tugadum, tim pow. Ga-da-ga-da-ga-da-ga-dum, tim pow. Okay? And that just kind of repeats with its own iterations. You can learn it on the pitches given. But that's the feel of that. And then I'm going to move on to the altos and the sopranos because they sing the theme. You will notice that T's are TS's. Tungadum, tugadum, timpao. TS's, okay? And I really want you to be loose with the pronunciation. These are really approximations. You're just making sound. You're just beatboxing. It's not anything more than that. People can do it differently. The goal is just, we're just kind of standing around making this beat. Okay, and they had to capture it in some way, but we don't need to go tungadoom, tugadoom, team pow, right? Okay, it's got to be very loose. Okay, so here we go. Here's square A, the theme, the altos go. 1, 2, everybody can do it. And leve, 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 li, jou. Jodzia, seka, na, ba, a, le. On rassemble, on célébrer. Jodia se Kanaval, tenor se and suke cha cha danse ra sorry. Jodia se Kanaval la leve leve les jours. Jodia se Kanaval. And it's exactly what you think it is, right? If it feels a certain way, just do it. Okay, just do it. Okay, so for the sopranos. Yele, 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 oh, yele, yele, oh, yele, yele, oh, yele, yele, oh. It's just like, or any kind of other noise. Yele, yele, oh, yele, yele, oh. Okay, so here we go. And then you do the suke cha-cha. Zippidimbo over page 3. I'm just trying to spit out some text that might not look familiar to you right away. Okay, so your rhythm is different. Here's square A. I'm going to start with the altos, and then I'm going to jump to the soprano line with the 5 minutes we have left. Okay, so here we go. Everybody on their own part, sing if you're familiar. I mean, like basses, I'm sure you can sing at this point. Go ahead. And tenors are practicing the tum-ga-dum, du-ga-dum. Oh, I should point out, Tenors, you'll see a little fall off the word pow. And it's exactly what it looks like. Tung-ga-dum, tug-ga-dum, ting pow. Tug-ga-dum, tug-ga-dum, ting pow. Tung-ga-dum, tug-ga-dum, ting pow. Ga-dug-ga-dug-ga-dug-ga-dum, ting pow. Okay, so that's that. Here we go, square A. Altos. Go ahead and sing. Altos. Dee-dee-dee. I hope that's an E flat. 1, 2, and. Leve, 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 les jours. Jodi a c'est carnaval. Yele, yele, oh, yele, yele, oh, ensemble, on célébrer. Jodi a c'est carnaval. Tennis. C'est cana, suke cha cha. 2, don't say ra ra. 1, 2, sopranos. Yele, yele, oh. Zipirimpo, 3, 4, leve, li, jou. Jodi a se carnaval. Go on. Timunyo, 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 déguisé. Gramunyo, 3, 4, gramunyo, excité. Mardi gras, mardi gras, mardi gras, chaloska, up défilé. Allons your belle époque, mon héros, mon Mbappé, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I was just pushing you forward into the music without going through the process because I just wanted you to get a feel for what it sounds like. But that is not the process, okay? What I need you to do in the last 4 minutes here is first get the text in your mouth without any rhythm. If it's rhythmic, you don't need to do that. But you do say, levez les joues, jodia today, jodia, say what? Kanaval. You get used to that. Then you speak it in rhythm. Then you separately la la la. And then and only then do you try singing on text. But all of those elements have to be there separately first. If you're a pianist, that's right hand, left hand. It's the same thing. If you have a vocal degree, it's just like speaking the Italian, you know, this is it. This is it. So let's see. Can we go on? Okay, I'm just gonna go on just so that people keep getting a feel for this, and maybe we can get to the tempo change. Oh no, actually 3 minutes. We should probably take questions.
Does anyone have any questions on how to submit recordings to Charlie or to me? Now's the time to ask.
I have a
Yes.
question.
Yes.
When I'm trying to send the recording to you, and I'm like using my headphones, and I'm like singing to the music, and then like, do I just like upload it and then send it to you by email?
Okay, so the best way, which is on the PDF that I forwarded to everybody, and it's also on the website, so I don't have to send it again. The PDF that explains on how to send the videos actually says to use WeTransfer. So what's the best thing to do? Say you're using your phone, right? You're using your phone, and you don't have to per se just send in vocals to Charlie for practice, because you could have the music playing in the background for practice. I'm sure Charlie would prefer that, so he knows where the rhythm you're doing. And go ahead, Charlie.
I'm gonna go ahead and just say, if there are any recording questions, there will be time set aside for that, for us to address that. And you can always email Julie, and I'm probably going out on a limb here, but not really. I'm sure Julie will be happy to take a phone call.
It's true, yeah. But I mean, if everyone has that general question, because I know it's the first, I know it's like 1 minute, but I mean, the first day, use WeTransfer. If you use a phone, you're going to need to upload the file to your desktop, because I've tried WeTransfer through the phone. It doesn't work. But if you want to transfer it from your phone to, say, Google Drive or Dropbox to transfer to your computer, you could do it that way too. Okay.
So just so everybody knows, I would like tracks of I Will Wait Out and Kanaval in their entirety. Not perfect, but it's a benchmark, you know, by the 20th. And before then, you will be getting the rehearsal conducting video with your section leader's voice to help you, we're trying to make it, we were trying to make it before rehearsal, but it's definitely going to be a week out, you know what I mean? So that you have at least a week with the section leaders' voices in your ear so that you have time to record. That's the goal. But just so everybody knows how this is going to work, I do expect to record a video 20 so that I can come back to this and say, okay, individually try this, I'll hand out notes individually, and then we'll just keep taking takes until, everybody's happy. So I was very, I was thinking like, how am I going to rehearse? Will I be able to fill up an hour? But obviously I could go on for hours. So I'm just going to go ahead and say most of the work happens at home. I've always said that, but now it really only happens at home until we can be together again. And like I said, that first rehearsal is going to be tears and joy and lovely and wonderful. And that's just how it's going to be. But until then, please work on your recording skills. And
refer to the videos that I will be posting, and I will send out an email when the videos are ready, which you should receive one shortly, actually, because I just finished uploading most of Kanaval except for the diction track, which is last for Kanaval. So Kanaval's done. Kanaval's done. You get the diction tracks. You guys have individual tracks. Mind you, they don't have vocals on them. It's the click track with Charlie doing with Charlie playing the piano part. Okay. And then there's actual diction tracks with him doing the rhythm. Those are not ready yet, but the piano tracks are already uploaded. So you guys have that to practice at home.
Yeah, here we go, folks. I appreciate your willingness, and we are going to create something amazing. Won't replace live performance, but we will certainly have fun biding our time. Oh, I was gonna say, because we are mobile, please recruit people. There's no limit. We can have folks from Hawaii, family members, rope people in. Okay, rope people in. This is so easy. So please, 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 we'll make it as easy as possible for them because Julie's amazing. And the more people, obviously, the better. If you haven't noticed, the videos have been snowballing, and people are sharing. And now people are sharing it that I don't even recognize. So keep on keeping on, folks. Sorry, Julie, go ahead.
I was just going to say that with the video submissions, you don't have to worry about those right now. Just worry about the vocals. We
just
don't really, yeah, just make sure that you don't, I mean, if you want to do them both at the same time and just focus on vocals because you don't have a vocal recorder, that's fine, because we're not looking at performance yet. That's going to come much later. So just focus on your voice and, learning the music.
Yeah, just to be clear, you're going to take 2 takes, a sound take only, and then a video lip sync, so you can focus. There's a lot of reasons, but until we get to that video due date, these submissions are just sound or video if that's easier for you. But
the good news is if Charlie likes your recording, for example, and you're like, okay, there's no notes I can give you, use that recording for your video.
Exactly.
And then that's done. What?
Not gonna happen.
I'm just saying, like, it will happen eventually.
Right. I'm gonna have
Charlie's gonna be like,
at some point.
This recording is good. Use this recording for your lip sync video, and you do not need to use headphones.
Yes.
Because you are lip singing to yourself, and I prefer it if you actually sing to yourself because I want to see your mouths actually lining up with what you're singing to.
And we'll go over all this again, and it'll be in writing. Don't worry, we're gonna read
it. Is in writing already.
Yes.
We will give a demonstration later on. I know we're running out of time, but any other questions, just submit them to either myself and Charlie. And I think we're gonna wrap it up. Yes.
Great rehearsal, folks. So happy to see your faces. Looking forward to this journey, and see you next week.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye, everybody.